Okay. Hello, hello. I am... Okay, so I'm here. Boom. And what did I say I was going to do? Scripting a video and that. So yeah, I have a video that I want to make. And it was this. I thought of this idea of kind of seeing Twitter as a city or something like this. And I wanted to, I don't know, make a video about this in a way. So, I don't know what I was thinking about. I was thinking about something and this thought of Twitter as a city, right? I was thinking about social media in general, right? So social media in general. Yeah, I know what I was thinking about. So let's go about this. Yeah, I made this skill set video here and hi meme ruler, what's going on? I'm making a video about I have a video idea and I want to script it. But yeah, I'm like tracking the context of this video idea. And the context is this comment here. And the comment essentially is on this video of mine where I talk about my skill set that I made a couple of days ago. Well, yesterday actually. And yeah, I had a guy, Chris, reply with useful feedback, and yeah, we had a little bit of a back and forth. And today in the morning, walking, I was thinking about what I replied him with. Yeah, they left instantly, lol, but I am back and my presentation was pretty good, emo. Oh, that's nice. Oh, what was it? What was it about? I assume something computational, right? But why was a present? Why did you have to do a presentation on it? Oh, and I don't know if you heard it, but I am making a video about making a video. Basically, I am streaming my video making process. So I am going through I'm trying to pull the thread of the video idea to see if I can get it back. And I was going over this. So you're continuing with that. I was going over the comments that I made, because I thought that it would be, it was a video about my skill set or something, and here the guy asked me about my values and all of these things, and I thought it was interesting, but the answers that I gave were pretty vague, and it made me think of people hating on Twitter and all of this, right? it made me think of, yeah, here I have something about merchants, I think, as well. I'm not sure if, yeah, I have this merchants and artists thing written here, and yeah, it is kind of a mess. It is really not a mess, but I had this kind of kernel of an idea of talking about Twitter strategy. Okay. The presentation was about depositories and investment for beginners and stuff. I'm not that interested in it, but it was given, so whatever. No idea what a depository is, but like a bank deposit or something. I like money. I would have been kind of interested in that thing. Investment for beginners. But yeah, that's cool. I knows a little bit about it, about like personal finance type stuff and all of this, right? I guess that's what that is. And yeah, I was. So yeah, back to the video idea. I had this vision of Twitter as a city. Because people inside the city like always kind of hate the city, right? But there are a couple of groups that keep the city going. Well, no, everyone keeps the city going. But there are a couple of groups that kind of like it there, right? And that really need the city to exist. And I was thinking about who those people are, right? And in real cities, they are merchants and artists, right? It's like if you see someone being really grateful for being in a city, I get reminded of like TikToks. There are this classic TikTok I saw. Let's see. Costco Rodrift. Cold healing. I think he tweeted something like this before. Yes, this. Tried and tested the theory. Uprooting your entire life and moving to New York City does cure, in fact, all depression and mental illness. And I was like, who would tweet something like this? Well, Isabella Aragao, we could go and investigate that. But yeah, my theory was, while walking, was that it was mainly merchants and artists. I would put her in the artist bucket probably, right? So basically the merchants, aka the people who need trade to happen, who profit from trade, they need cities, right? That is why cities exist, basically, as like loci, you could say, LOCI, locuses of trade, as places of wherever it happens. This is what a city is. But incidentally, or like for some reason, or as a side effect of the, I guess, surplus or whatever, artists need cities as well. And I would say that this is kind of the artist mindset of like depression and mental illness being cured by cities. Kind of ready to say moving to the city didn't cure my depression, but who am I to say she's wrong? I mean, you didn't move to New York City. That's important, I would say. But yeah, in your case, I would put you in, you are neither a merchant nor an artist, right? You are, for the moment, right? You are, if you're like doing computer engineering or something, it's like you will work for the merchants, right? You will be a merchant slave, the slave of a merchant, right? You will be the guy who is doing computer stuff for a company. Companies are essentially merchant, like the merchant vehicles. So you will work at this big, I don't know what companies there are in Berlin, like biggest software engineering Berlin. You have a point, yes. SAP, SAP is so annoying. You will work. I mean, as the people who use SAP apparently complain about it. I don't know if developing SAP, but yeah. So, for example, SAP HQ Berlin. you will go to this building. The building is actually pretty cool, right? And like go to the office and like make SAP. Make SAP happen. I don't know exactly what that consists in, but you will do that. And the people who are like the merchants are the people who are selling SAP to the other companies, right? So it is all like the SAP person in Berlin going to Frankfurt and to the big buildings in Frankfurt, and the people who own the buildings, right? Those are the merchants, right? Those are the people who need the cities to exist, and the people who build the cities, because and then as a side effect, there is all this surplus, right? That happens around it. That's why even people who don't like the cities go there, because there is like stuff that you can get from, right? They will hire you, they will need to eat, blah blah blah. So you go there to feed the people there, etc. Right? It creates all this huge bubble. And I was thinking of Twitter as a modern city, right? I think I'm not the first one to think about this in this sense, right? I think, for example, the Network State Guide Balaji, right? The Network State. Yeah. Balaji has this book called The Network State, where he talks about how right now cities are places, right? But in the future, aka the present now, blah, 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 basically with cryptocurrencies and all of this, you will not need the physical city, right? And you will be able to be wherever, but still join some kind of a state, right? That is in the network. And I see Twitter as this kind of antecessor of this, right? So Twitter is basically a city in online, and just like New York, which is like a massive city, there are like several places on Twitter, right? So Twitter has. Okay, I'm going to keep linking all these things because if not, I forget. So Instagram would be another one. Is that how you would see it? I hadn't thought about Instagram a lot. I mainly think about Twitter because I was thinking more of the vision. Yeah, but I could probably, the phenomenon probably replicates. But I was thinking mainly in Twitter because to me, the people who gain from Instagram, like I don't know exactly who that is, right? I am not on Instagram enough to be like really conscious of who is gaining from it and who is complaining about Instagram, right? Because on Twitter, the thing about Twitter is that people on Twitter itself, right, complain about Twitter a lot. So they will say that they hate Twitter, like on the site. Or outside the site, for example, on YouTube, people talk about hating Twitter a lot, but no one really, like, they talk about not hating Instagram, but they talk about Instagram being bad for them, right? So it's like, yeah, they talk about Instagram not as a city, right? You don't hate Instagram. It's like they just don't like it, right? Or they think it's bad for them, right? But a city, I don't know. It doesn't speak to me in this sense, right? I don't see this kind of people winning a lot from Twitter in the same way, because the place I'm in Twitter, right? I am in that neighborhood of Twitter who loves Twitter, right? I like it, and the people there talk a lot about why they love Twitter, but also the people who don't like it also talk a lot about how they don't like it. Instagram, because it's less about talking, right? Instagram is more about showing and all of these things. There is like less, like literal. It's less literal medium. It's more image, I guess. So it's harder to talk in it, or there is less of a culture of talking, right? Which, in my case, makes it less city-like. I use neither, so I don't really know, but I get where you are coming from. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, TikTok, for example, I could see TikTok being a city, right? I could see TikTok with the similar, and because as you see on Twitter, for example, a lot of the stuff that I see on Twitter are TikTok screenshots, right? It is very, very like that, right? Very parallel in this sense, and like taking from each other. And on TikTok, you will see many TikToks of people like just talking to the camera, and behind them they have a green screen like me, but they have a tweet behind them, right? So it's interesting that it's like there is this both of these things happening. So you could say that they are two cities. And Instagram, for example, in Instagram, I don't see that generativeness as much. There are places, like there are pockets, and I do follow some Instagram accounts that are like good, you could say, that they post stuff there primarily, but yeah, I don't see that as often. But yeah, I don't really know what I want the video to say. That's the problem, right? I have this vision that Twitter is a city and that there are these parallels, but I don't have like any story or any conclusion really that I want to make, right? That's the problem with it. And let's say she's an artist. At this point, everywhere is TikTok, so it's hard to differentiate. Yeah. Reels exist. Twitter has half of Twitter is just reposted TikToks. I don't know what my point of this was, though. I think my point is to say that it is not good and it is not bad, right? It is like there are people who gain from it, there are people who complain about it, but by being there, kind of gain, right? Or like they pass the time there, right? It's like if you hate your job, but it keeps you going, how much can you hate it, right? That is the thing, right? Same with Twitter. It's like if you hate Twitter and you are on it, because there on Twitter you get these posts of people being like, Twitter is so bad, but they are like famous people, right? So people will take them saying that and post it. So that in that case, that makes sense, right? You can live without it. These are like the people who have moved to the countryside, you could say. Yeah, I think I know more or less what I'm sensing at, right? Because when I answered, this guy asked me some stuff, right, about me adapting myself to sound more professional or whatever, right? And I guess that to me, I don't want to say that this is blah 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 or whatever. I want to say more or less that to me it sounds kind of like someone who sees that you are moving to the city telling you, but the countryside is all there is, or something like this, right? Or if yes, they see you packing your bag for the city and they tell you, what? You are not packing a hoe, you are not packing seeds, you are not packing shit to sow your seeds, right? What are you doing? And I'm like, no, I am going to the city, right? The point is that I don't need these things anymore, right? And that's kind of the vibe of what I wanted to say. So let's go back to the beginning. So comment from the guy. Why aren't you packing seeds, hoe, shit, etc. I'm going to the city. You might hate that there are so many people in the city, but I also love how you have a ton of stuff, like concerts and so on. Yeah. That's kind of the thing, I guess. But it's like stores don't exist without people, right? Concerts don't exist without people. I don't know where I'm going with this. Thank you for keeping the comment being curious. I think the same. I don't want it to display fake confidence, blah, blah, blah. I'm not trusting the YouTube algorithm to find these people right now. I'm not sure if I answered the question. Yeah, in my comment, in this long comment, basically, I'm answering to him. And I mentioned social media a couple of times, and that's kind of what I wanted to do with this. I wanted to, I guess, spiritually answer to the guy what I was thinking about, right? Because essentially, okay, let's see. Let's start with from the beginning. Problem. Guy in my comments doesn't get the vibe. Doesn't get the no, not that doesn't get it, but so I made this video and thinks it's unserious or something. Yeah, calls my CV bad. Guy in my comment. Let's go with the facts. Calls my CV bad. My answer. This video. Yeah, let's see. Okay, like my written answer. Long shit. My real answer. This video. So, the guy just wrote this comment saying basically how it is not professional. Then I kind of not convinced him, but yeah, he saw that, yeah, I make interesting points, but they are unlikely, which I think is fair. And he is curious and asks about my values and all of these things. And I answer back and I reply with my values, which are these. This friendly, curiosity, whatever. And yeah, not much else. But I guess I woke up thinking about this. Well, first of all, because I wrote the comment at like 5 a.m. or something, at like 4 a.m. First of all, because of that, it was the last thing that I did before waking up. Sorry, before going to bed. But also because, yeah, it is essentially, he is asking, right, rightfully, why I'm doing certain things, right? Why am I doing this, essentially? Hard, I don't know. fuck it, let's do the video. I think this is what the video is going to be like. It's not going to be higher anything than this. So let's find a good scene. Like, like the other day when Cityscape. Let's go first with ChatGPT. Can you generate an image that is basically a... Can you generate an image of a cityscape that's somehow related to Twitter? It's for the background of a video called Twitter as a City, in which I compare Twitter with a city. Boom. Oh fuck, I forgot to tell it 16:9. Okay, what then? The thumbnail will be just myself in front of the fucking... Oof. That's fucking dope, actually. Let's say it. Whoa, that's fucking dope. Can you do it? Can you do a similar image but where the Twitter building is off to a side? I'm using it as a background and I'm in the middle. Download. Copy this, browser. Nineteen 1792 1024. 1792 1024. Boom. A little bit of blurriness in my mind. Bro, it's still in the middle. What happens if I expand my camera here a little bit? Okay, I have a little bit of arm movement here. Bro! just for making this stupid background. So can you tell me the prompt used? Generating images is so hard. Maybe I could use the one that I have and leave it. I think the little tweeters are good enough. Bro. Fuck it, let's keep it like I have it. Okay, so let's do something like okay. I have a thumbnail. So my vision Twitter as a city. So then the video is going to be called something like why I see Twitter as a city or something like this. Why I see Twitter as a city. How I see Twitter as a city. How I see Twitter as a city. Then how I see Twitter as a city. I'm hating this concept more and more. Let's go. Why I see Twitter as a city. How I see Twitter as a city. Then the setup. Can I just say the setup? The reason for this video. So, in this video, fuck it, let's start with that. How I see Twitter as a city. Fuck. How I see Twitter as a city. In this video, where I talk about my skill set in the context of filling out a Twitter job board, so there is this theme here of Twitter being kind of the thread of it all. I got this comment, very interesting comment, where I kind of was criticized for the tone of the video not being too serious or something like this. We had this kind of long back and forth as an answer, as well, for me as an answer, and then he replied back and all of this, and I'm grateful for this, and I thought it was interesting. But yeah, because the answer was very long-winded and very unclear, I thought it was better to give a vibes, kind of a response in vibes, right? So instead of all of these arguments and all of this text, give some vibes answer. And this is my answer, right? For me, Twitter is kind of a city, right? That is kind of the vision I have in mind. This background that you can see here, right, of the big Twitter building in the in the background, all of these little Twitter buildings around. And yeah, to me, basically, to sum up his argument, very quickly, though I'm not like painting him in bad light or whatever, right? I appreciate the comment first of all, but yeah, because it was an interesting thing, I want to give kind of my background on it. And basically, how I took the comment or something is basically he was telling me to pack seeds, to pack like field tools like a hoe, to pack cow shit or kind of these things. When he sees me packing, right, my, I don't know, a laptop or whatever, and he says, why are you not packing all of these things, right? And my point is that I am going to the city, right? I'm looking for a job on Twitter. That is why my resume is this kind of shit resume, you could say. And I wanted to expand on the analogy, right? I thought it was interesting to expand on this analogy because I think that it's interesting to see this parallelism between Twitter and a city, because you see a lot of the time people in cities hating cities, and there is like this dual phenomenon of people on Twitter hating Twitter and people in cities hating cities, right? And also the opposite. There are some people in cities who are like, I couldn't live without a city. For example, this TikTok post that I saw on Cold Healing's page, which says this: moving to New York City does in fact cure all depression and mental illness. And I thought it was interesting, right? There are kind of this dual-sided phenomenon, right? And I think I am on the digital city phenomenon right now. I'm kind of trying to get a job in the digital city, you could say. That is my vibes. And to me, the point is that the digital city is this ethereal kind of thing. The point is that the resume itself, the way I made the video, my skill set video, this way of being, I guess, casual, you could say, but real in a way, that is what distinguishes one from being a citizen or not being a citizen. That is my point, I would say. And continuing with the analogy of the city, because I wanted to talk a little bit about this, right? I think that continuing with the people who hate it and the people who don't hate it, I think the people who hate the city are. Yeah, I wanted to say this because the people who hate the city are either people who are on the countryside, who just don't like it, right? Who saw what it was going on and left, or who never went there in the first place because they saw that they didn't like what's happening, or the people who are in the city but who work there kind of forced because there is more opportunity in a sense, right? And I see Twitter the same way, right? There are the people who hate Twitter from inside the Twitter, right? There are people on Twitter who hate Twitter, which is funny to see, but it is kind of expected, right? And also people from outside who are hating on Twitter and people who retire from Twitter because of this, right? And these are kind of the categories that I see. Then I think that the people who are inside the city and like it, of which I consider myself one person of that, right, of that realm, are the merchants and the artists, right? This is in the real cities. That's what's going on, right? The cities are like centers of commerce, and as kind of a side effect, artists flock there because I guess ideas also get exchanged and culture gets exchanged and all of these things. So it is this. I see kind of this same vibe on Twitter, right? There are the merchant types, right? Merchant, okay, the people who sell shit love to be on Twitter because, like, the OnlyFans girls get all their public from Twitter and they are always like with buying the blue check and replying on their big tweets because they want to get the attention, right? Or the people who sell courses also love to be on Twitter because it's a good place to sell courses, right? They are the merchants. But there's also the artists, right? There's the people who kind of share ideas or share share art, these kind of things, right? This kind of vibe, right? The vibe of the girl who says that New York City cures mental illness, right? There are some people who feel like this online world saved them in a way. Let's see if I can find the tweet of being saved. I on my likes tab it should be, but it's going to be for quite a long time ago, I think. Maybe Judah. I think it was a Judah tweet, but I'm not sure which one. Man, I can't find it. It said something like it talked about this controversy of Twitter or whatever. This one. Man, I can't find the tweet. Yeah, fuck it. Hello to the new people, by the way. I was finding a tweet because I'm making a video live, but I forgot. So yeah, I'm not even sure what was I saying in the video, so it's going to be a kind of an abrupt ending, but oh well. Well, I'm going to keep scrolling. While I scroll, let's see. Man, I don't see it. It was a tweet basically saying being on the internet saved me or something, but way less hyperbolic as that. It was more like chill. Yeah, I give up. Ugh. Yeah, give up. So I'm just gonna go like this was what I wanted to say. So this is essentially what I wanted to say. Not a super long video, not a super deep concept, I guess. It's tied to the network state by Balaji, maybe in some sense, but maybe it's some obvious shit. But I thought it was interesting, so yeah. Bye. Okay, and now I wanted to talk a bit about this other video that I wanted to make. I want to make a video called What I Eat in a Week. I've been recording it, and the thing is that I want to it to be kind of not cool, but well, cool of course. I want it to be the title in Spanish, right? I have this video with this video title in English, right? Which is kind of like what a week of homemade meals in Spain looks like, or something like this, right? But the point is that like I'm not Spanish, right? My mom is Japanese, so I want to find out what's a good title for that. And there is this guy, especially for Spanish, right? Because I want to make the video in Spanish as well, maybe. And I wanted to be inspired by this guy who is half Japanese as well, to see if I can find something about half Japanese people. mitad japonés. Let's see, something like this. Mestizo. Yeah, fuck it. I may straight up copy this this thumbnail or something. Oh, you can't see anything. This. I might straight up copy this thumbnail. So fuck it. Let's copy this. Copy. And español. I wanted to make the video in Spanish as well. And for that I wanted to find a good thing. Yeah, and I want to find a good thumbnail and title for what I eat in a week in English as well. Because maybe I thought that in Spain, like, I see these, like, food in Spain videos and they are like traditional Spanish tapas or whatever. And I wanted to say something like, yeah, like Spanish like a local. And I wanted to make a video, something like this, like titled kind of like this. Yeah, this what I eat in a week in Spain. But instead of being what I eat because no one knows me and no one knows who I am, I prefer to make the video like a week of homemade meals in Spain, right? That sounds better, right? But with the twist that when you go in, actually I'm half Japanese, so half of the of the food is kind of Japanese. So the thumbnail for the English video is going to be quite more Spanish looking, much more Spanish looking, and the thumbnail for the Spanish video is going to be like half Spanish, half Japanese food, right? And me in the middle or something like this, right? Me like this, something like this. I don't know. And I wanted to think about the setup, right? What the setup is. It's like what the intro should be. Yeah, I wanted to make it something like this, right? Yeah, probably straight up going to copy this shit. Maybe, probably. But I wanted to think if I can not copy and like think of something for myself, right? What would be like if the food, maybe leave the what I eat in a week and put Spanish Japanese in the thumbnail. So yeah, that could be interesting. But the problem is that because I am so small, I don't think like no one cares actually, right? So if you see this and it says what I eat in a week, and you see her, maybe you're like, oh, she's beautiful, right? Let's click. But if I put what I eat in a week and I put myself, it's like no one cares, right? Also, she's, I don't know. That's what I'm struggle to like communicate. I guess what are the important things? Right? What is the? I'm not sure if I should structure this as like catch, like as a hook, and a twist, right? So something that hooks, and then something that subverts on it, right? So I hook you with the Spanish thing, and I think the homemade thing is interesting, right? Because people are curious about what actual, right? That is an element of curiosity, right? What do like real people eat, right? A week of food as a half Japanese, half Spanish, half Japanese. Just ideas though. Yeah, that's interesting. Maybe I could be just upfront. That is kind of the going upfront route, right? That is being truthful from the beginning, right? No hook, no, sorry, no twist. Which I think it's fair, right? I think it's a fair approach. And I could make I will see, for example, for the Spanish one, for the Spanish video, I will probably use that as that approach, right? But then I have to think through the intro, right? Then the intro, the good thing about that is the intro becomes much more easy, right? For the Spanish intro, right? Spanish intro. Then in the intro, I can mention the casera food, right? Homemade food. Casera. Una semana de comida casera. As someone, I'm writing in English because I'm thinking in English right now. As someone has Spanish, has Japanese. Then the English intro, not a Spanish household. My mom is Japanese, so what this for? The what? Hello, by the way. The video for my channel and the stream for talking about the video for my channel. Someday they want the blurred question mark. Nah, see, this does. Okay, blurred question mark can make sense. Yeah, could I make it like this, but blur some shit? I was thinking of blurring some shit. Maybe some flags. I will see. The thumbnail, I can think about it when I have the video more or less, and I have some shots of the food. But I want to think about the idea first. And the intro, especially the intro. Because then the content is really, the content is super straightforward. It's day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 4, day 5, day 7. But the intro is important. Hi, I've never seen your channel before, but it seems cool. Thank you. Hi. Hey, hello. I am making a video about what I eat in a week. Well, not making it yet. I am kind of thinking through the titles and all of these things. And yeah, I have my thumbnail ideas. I have the intro, which is what I'm thinking about now. I want the intro to be representative of what's coming, but that a good intro, right? So either something that is like so straightforward that you know right from the get-go that you want to leave, right? But ideally that you want to stay, right? So I don't want to use the word I as in what I eat in a week because no one knows who I am and no one gives a shit, right? So if I give that up front with the as a half Spanish, half Japanese thing, either I can just straight up repeat that, go something like, so I am half Spanish and half Japanese, and I thought it would be interesting to show what a week of like homemade food looks like, straight up, just like this. And meanwhile, I start playing some clips of the dishes, of these kind of homemade dishes, right? Of this like, of the most contrasting ones, right? So the most Spanish looking one and the most Japanese looking one, for example. That's really smart. Not sure, no, but I'm going to do it anyways. So yeah. But I believe you. If you say I'm smart, fuck it, I'll believe you. Well, if you say that the idea itself is smart, okay, I buy that. What do you eat in a week? How much is it? Okay, that's the outro. Intro. So, yeah, and making the English intro like that would be, what do you guys think, right? Do you guys think it's a better idea to hook some, right? You are like the English speaking audience. Right now I'm thinking of, because for the Spanish speaking audience, I think it's much better to go with that half Japanese, half Spanish one thing, because like if I'm making videos in Spanish and you see the food, I don't know, maybe if I hook you in with, if I put comida española or like Spanish food, you would click. But like homemade, I especially like the homemade thing, because I think that makes people click, right? Well, not, I'm not sure if it makes someone click, but it is a differentiative aspect of the actual content of the video, right? The actual video is of homemade food, so right, that is kind of the point of it. But the twist is that it is not just Spanish food, and it is half Spanish, half Japanese food, more or less, right? Not, I'm not sure of what the ratio of the food is like, but that is the ratio of my genetic composition, you could say. So for the English video is what that's the point, the thing I'm debating the most, right? I'm not sure if I should go with one or the other. Like which one of the two is the better idea? I'm not sure if can I make a poll or something? Oh, here. Oh, I can. Okay, let's go. What title is better? A week of homemade Spanish food. Homemade food cooking. See, the poll is so difficult. Okay, fuck. Boom. Let's go with the poll. Nice, there are polls in here. That's dope. So you have a poll, you can vote. The problem with the half Japanese half thing is that see how short and like punchy the title in English is. A week of homemade Spanish food. It just fits. It fits. But I think that the half Japanese, half Spanish food is more real, right? It's like there is no twist. Japanese. JP Japanese. Yeah. Yes. Or maybe I could put. See, maybe I could make the Spanish one something like a week of half Spanish, of homemade Spanish food, brackets with a twist. And then I tell you the twist. Yes. So those are the things. Okay, let's say alt titles. A week of homemade meals in Spain. A week of homemade Spanish food with a twist. I don't know. For so far, it's only Spanish in the title. I would expect only Spanish food, so I would be confused, but I would not make videos, so you could be right. With the twist, sounds good, I think. Yeah, that can be the balance, right? It would make you interested. And then I could maybe put like half Japanese or whatever in the title, in the tags, or maybe I could like blur the Japanese flag on the thumbnail, something like this. Yeah, something like this. Or fucking put the flag in the thumbnail or whatever. I don't know. There are many strategies. Or like put a clearly Japanese dish on the thumbnail, blurred. Something like that. Yeah, this was an interesting thought session. I'm going to cut the live stream here. Thank you for being here. And oh yeah, see, I made this video yesterday. YouTube. Maybe blur the Spanish and Japanese flag. That's all I can think of. Yeah, the Spanish one doesn't need to be blurred because it's in the title. But yeah, I'm going to annotate the idea. Thumb ideas, blurred question mark, blurred zip flags. When I have the thumbnails made, I will probably make a live stream and ask the people who are here again. So I'm not sure when will I have the thumbnails. I don't think I will have them tomorrow, but maybe tomorrow I can talk a little bit about it, or maybe even make a thumbnail live or something like this. But yeah, thank you for being here, whoever is here. And I made this video yesterday. Hire me, my skill set, Twitter job board. And you can watch this video in case you want to hire me for something, or in case, I don't know, your parents or whoever the fuck, or your aunt, maybe your aunt or something like this, no, or your parents not, but you know, people who get the vibe or whatever. I don't know. You can follow me on Twitter here, and you can subscribe, of course, and all of these things. I live stream more or less at this hour, like from like 4:35, lately 5, but yeah, I do that. And thank you for being here again.